gasoline I smell?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you all are doing amazing as always, and it's me, Joe, as always. And today, guys, I want to talk about a movie that I saw last night, and I want to forget all about it, okay? Now, before we get into it, guys, hit that like button, or if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. And now let's talk about this movie. And the movie that I want to talk about today is Children of the Corn, the 2023 remake. Now, I remember that I did an episode of Monday's Killer News where I was talking about this movie, and I was talking about how this movie is really bad. At least that's what the reviews were like, and that this is essentially like an awful movie almost. And I was like, you know what? I really want to watch this movie one day. So one day, that one day was yesterday actually, and I sat down and I was like, I want to enjoy Children of the Corn remake 2023. I really want to see this movie, so let's see this movie. And yeah, it is pretty awful, okay? Now, I don't want to be that person that sort of hates on movies, okay? Because I get how hard it is to actually make a movie. I get it. It's like really hard to make a movie. And I don't want to hate on movies. But when you want me to pay for a movie, and it's not just like a free fan-made movie on YouTube, I think that I have the right to sort of criticize it, And so today I want to talk about Children of the Corn remake, and I want to tell you my thoughts. And before we get into it, I just want to say how much I love this franchise in like a guilty pleasure kind of way. It's all because I love corn. Okay, I love corn mazes, I love cornfields, because it reminds me of Halloween, honestly, and I love Halloween so much, so, I know it just reminds me of, Halloween, and that's why I love Children of the Corn, because it has corn mazes in it, and cornfields. That's pretty cool. And so that's kind of like why I love this franchise, in a guilty pleasure kind of way, and that's why I really do like the original movies, especially like the first two movies from the 80s. I think they are, pretty okay. They are like they are B movies for sure, right? But they're still okay. Completely fine. And so I was really excited to see a new take, a new reimagination of Children of the Corn. And what I got was a really, really bad movie. Now, granted, that this movie looks like it was shot, on a very tight budget, that the budget for this movie was just really low. But I don't think that's an excuse, okay? I don't think that low budgets are, excuse to make a bad movie, essentially, okay? Because, you have low budget movies that are so good. Movies like The Terrifier 2, and I love Terrifier 2, okay? And that movie is, a low-budget movie, but it's amazing. It's literally amazing, okay? And so is the first Terrifier, but I think that the second one is even better, right? So I think that even when you have a low-budget movie, you can still make a great movie, So it's not really an excuse, right? But this movie has, a ton of issues, okay? The acting is one of them. The acting in this movie is absolutely terrible. And, it is Children of the Corn, right? So you need some child actors, And most child actors, especially in horror movies, are just pretty bad, There are, some movies where you have some child actors that are actually good. But whenever this happens, it is rare, and it's just rare. Most of the times when you have children in horror movies, you get some really bad performances from them, and because this movie is full of children, the performances here are pretty awful. And it is sort of it was kind of cringe watching it, and sort of I just wanted, like, in some scenes I just wanted to look away, but not because the scenes were like creepy or I was scared, but it was because the performances were like that awful and that cringe. It was bad, you know. The cinematography also is just really awful, to be honest. I don't need my movies to look amazing or just like, the best cinematography ever kind of thing, but I just want the cinematography to be at least good, like at least serviceable. But in this movie, you get some shots that are just so awful, and some shots you can't even see because it's too dark. The shots are just too dark and you can't see shit. Okay, I was pissed off, honestly. A good few times in a movie, I was like, what am I even watching? It was pretty awful. Now, there are some good things, I guess. Some atmosphere stuff kind of works. But overall, the story is just awful. The kills are, some of them are satisfying. I'm gonna give them that. Some kills in this movie are actually sort of satisfying in a way. But overall, this movie is just awful. This really is an awful movie, and I'm disappointed, right? Because like I was expecting, I wasn't expecting anything, to be honest, after those reviews, But I was expecting at least like a semi decent, low budget horror movie that I can enjoy. But there's almost like no enjoyment at all in this movie to be had. It's just awful, and again, I don't want to be that person that just sort of like hates on horror movies or movies in general, because like I get how hard it is to make a movie, right? So many people, so much work, but it's just like when you want me to pay for a movie, I have the right to criticize your movie, and this movie is fucking awful. I don't recommend anyone watching this movie. Even if you like, or even if you are in a mood for like a shitty horror movie, there are better alternatives out there, than this movie, okay? Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I just hope that I wasn't that negative, even though I probably was, but these are just my thoughts, okay? I'm a bit pissed off, and I wanted to make this video talking about this movie. But yeah, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care as always, and bye.